You may have heard what happened this Friday in regards to a question that was placed to the Rebbe, but in order to make sure that it has been relayed properly, and being that I was the shaliach to relay the question and also to relay the Rebbe's response, I feel it is important at this opportunity to try to give over exactly what took place. And then there was another opportunity yesterday early morning, Fartog, when I was by the Rebbe, to bring up the subject again and again to get a clarification. A woman wrote a letter to the Rebbe about her pa'ulis toivos that she's been doing lately. And then at the end of the letter she wrote that there are people who are saying that this unfortunate situation that has taken place is a result of the fact that we are speaking and spreading so much about the concept of Bias HaMashiach and speaking about the Hisgalus, about the revelation of the Rebbe Zol Gezun Sein als Melech HaMashiach. And she wrote to the Rebbe, if this is so, maybe it is necessary for us to interrupt, to stop this type of mitzvah till the Rebbe will get well. Or does the Rebbe feel that we should continue? Due to the circumstances, it is necessary for me, when I bring a letter to the Rebbe, for myself to read the letter to the Rebbe. When I reached this letter, I read the first part of the letter, and then the Rebbe, I told the Rebbe that this woman wants to have a bracha for hatzlacha, and he nodded with his head, yes. And then I read the second part of the letter. After I finished reading, there was no response from the Rebbe. He did not say yes, he did not say no. I mean saying yes and no, not saying the words, but by nodding with his head. So I asked the Rebbe, mit darf ihr answeren? Do we have to answer her? And the Rebbe nodded with his head, yes. So I say, is the Rebbe's answer, am soll mafsik sein, this inyan? Does the Rebbe want that we should stop this, interrupt it? And the Rebbe went like this. No. The Rebbe meant, am soll mamshir sein, to continue the inyan? And the Rebbe said, went like this, yes. So I repeated to the Rebbe. I said, das Menschen sagen, als der Rebbe will, als soll übergeben die Freude, als dem Rebbe Senfer ist, als die Negeye zu dem Minion von Moshiach und die Ingen, was man darf beten, his Galus quake Dusches Admerschlitt als Melech HaMashiach, soll nimschach werden, and I added on my own, Uba Hisofa, and even more so. And I said, das meint der Rebbe, man soll übergeben? And the Rebbe nodded with his head like this, yes. Yesterday morning, I received another letter which I was asked to give to the Rebbe, which had a similar contents. And after reading the letter to the Rebbe, I told the Rebbe that the Bedeg Gelegenheit, by this opportunity, I would like to tell the Rebbe what happened with the Friday's answer. My kavanah was just to be sure that I did not make a mistake. And I told the Rebbe, as Zicha gedenkt the Rebbe, what was asked on Friday, and I repeated the question entirely as much as I remembered from the letter. And I told it, and after I said the question, I said, und der Rebbe geheißen übergeben, am soll mamshich sein, und bei Hisofa, ben inyonim von Bias HaMashiach, und als der Rebbe soll uns galven als Melech HaMashiach. And the Rebbe again nodded, yes. And I told the Rebbe, if that's the case, does this response also refer to this new letter that I had yesterday? And the Rebbe again said yes. To me, it reminded the Maisa that has been told about the Alter Rebbe sitting in Tfisa when he with Alter Rebbe was imprisoned. And as we are told that the Baal Shem Tov and the Mezritcher Maggid came to the Alter Rebbe to visit him. And the Alter Rebbe asked the Mezritcher Maggid and Baal Shem Tov, "Vos kommt es mir? Why is it that I had to be imprisoned? What did I do that I deserve such a punishment?" And the Baal Shem Tov said, "Because you were mefarsim pnimis haTorah, because you are spreading chassidus." So the Alter Rebbe said, if that's the case, maybe this is a siman min hashamayim, that when I am released, I should stop spreading chassidus. And the Baal Shem Tov and the Maggid told him, no, just to the contrary, that this is the Meister Soten, the Meister from the Samach Mem, and you have to overcome that. And when you will be left out of prison, not only should you continue what you did in spreading chassidus, but you should do even more. When the Rebbe told me that answer, it became clear to me that this whole incident that took place over here is Meiser Soten from the Samach Mem. The Samach Mem knows that when Moshiach comes, he's out of business. And as the Rebbe says, always he's knocked out of the box. He has no more existence. Once Moshiach comes, he has no business anymore. He has nothing to do. So he's struggling for his life, for his existence. And for one reason or other, which we have no understanding why that is so, and we have to scream to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that you have no right to do so, that he allowed the Samach Mem to do what he did. And this, to me, came clear as a result of this mitzvah of Bias HaMashiach, the Inyan from Geula, and thus what we bet from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, as the Rebbe on his Galav and al Smelach HaMashiach. And when the Rebbe says that we have to continue, it is the same exact answer that the Baal Shem Tov and the Mezritcher Maggid told the Alter Rebbe. And therefore, it is important for us that we should realize that Chas v'Sholem, to weaken, to minimize in the inyanim from Bias HaMashiach, or to minimize in this inyan that we ask of HaKadosh Baruch Hu to be Megala the Rebbe al Smelach HaMashiach.